Hey y'all, Mr. Kyle, Myers Mathematics, and let's just jump into it. This is the last two questions on the last worksheet on the last bit of series Kuta Software Infinite Algebra 1 worksheets. So this series is going to be complete as of this. So check out the rest of them that are on there. Everything that is Algebra 1 worksheets. So if you're doing Algebra 1 worksheets at all, then go check out the series. It was like over a year-long journey of doing all these little worksheets and stuff. So go check it out. It's all on there. And anyways, let's go ahead and knock these last two out here. So I've left the notes up there from probably like questions 1 and 2. But when we're doing scientific notation, it has to be a number between 1 and 10. It can include 1, but it cannot include 10. So it can be 9.999, but it can't be 10. It can be exactly 1, like 1.000. That's fine. And then you have to times it by 10 to a power. And that power has to be an integer, so a positive or negative whole number. Okay? So without further ado, we look at the number. We see if that number is already in scientific, because if it is, then we're pretty much done. And if not, we need to move the decimal place over so that it does become a number between 1 and 10. 0.15 is not currently a number between 1 and 10. It's less than 1. But if I move the decimal place one space to the right, it would be 1.5. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put that times 10 to the negative 2 thing over here, because let's see, what did we just do? We took a small number and made it bigger. When you're dealing with small numbers, you need to times them by a negative power. We moved it over one space, so we would times it by a negative 1. Okay, and that's how I like to remember it. You can also remember it as decimal place goes to the right, it's a negative number, and to the left makes it a positive number, which seems a little bit like counterintuitive because right is the positive direction, but it's actually because you're counteracting. You're counteracting what you're doing to try to balance it. So what I like to do though is I like to just say, okay, well, it's a small number, so I'm going to need a negative power, versus a big number, I would need a positive power. Okay, so we still need to combine those two 10s because you can't have more than one 10. It has to be one 10, so to speak. So this is going to be 1.5. And if I combine the negative 1 and the negative 2, if you think about like what that is, it's like 1 over 10. 1 over 10 times 1 over 100, which would be 1 over 1,000, which is 10 to the negative 3 power. Or you can use the rule, which says that if you have two numbers being times and their bases are the same, you can add up their power. So I'm adding negative 1 and negative 2 and getting negative 3. And there we go. So that's it for that one. And the second one looks like it's going to be the easiest one, which is kind of ironic because usually the last one is the hardest one. Like 15 was a lot harder than what this one's going to be because it's already in scientific notation, almost. The only thing we need to add to it is it needs to be 4.8 times 10. Now I can't just say times 10. It has to be 10 to a power. Well, what kind of power can I do to make it so that I'm not changing anything? Well, to the 0 power. You can put it to the 0 power. That's a whole number. And that doesn't change anything because anything to the 0 power is 1, so it's just 4.8 times 1. But I have to write it this way because it has to be in the formal notation and everything. But that's it. That's all I have to do. And that's it. So here we are, wrapping up all of this, and I hope that was helpful. And you can check out more stuff on the playlist that should be popping up somewhere down over here. And you can check out other stuff as well. In the description below, I have a link to my website where you can find the 5 math mistakes everyone makes and how to avoid them. And you can also shoot me an email if you have questions about tutoring, because I do private tutoring for all math classes between Algebra 1 and Calculus 3. So if you know anybody who needs help with math one-on-one, you can reach out to me and we can chat about it. All right. Have a great day, y'all. Blessings.